Guess who just flipped their position on school choice?
It's the Mega Man, and nah, that doesn't stand for hate. We're just saying it's time for education to be great.
Hello, everyone. This is Make Education Great Again. I'm your host, Chris Morse. Today's topic, Governor of Illinois, Pritzker, J.B. Pritzker, flips on school choice. He reverses a previous vow to get rid of all vouchers, of all school choice funding. And funny, surprise, surprise, right before the midterms, right before election season, he's looking at the trends and what voters care about. And it turns out next to the economy, the second most important factor that is in the mind of voters this election cycle happens to be education. He's changing his point. He's flip-flopping, baby, and it's about time. So let's go ahead and report the news, baby, because right here is huge good stuff. I mean, however God gets the job done, I'm all for. So let's go ahead and get into it. So if you look right here, here is basically the news. Fox News just covered this. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker reverses on school choice program he once pledged to do away with it. I mean, he just realized, wait a minute, I'm on the wrong side of this thing. So let's go ahead and get into it. He publicly attacked the program. He was a gubernatorial candidate in August of 2017, and he is conveniently changing. Let's read about the story here. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker endorsed a school choice program in a new candidate survey, appearing to reverse course on an issue that just a few weeks ago, out from Election Day, he's changing. Okay, in the survey published by the Chicago Sun-Times, Pritzker replied yes to the question, do you support Illinois tax credit scholarship programs? Okay, that's school choice, that provides financial support for students to attend private or parochial, I'm saying that wrong, schools. The main focus with respect to K-12 education is ensuring that there's sufficient funding for all children to receive a quality education regardless of their zip code, he said in a more detailed answer. That's why I've decided to add an additional $1.3 billion toward public education during my term, with assurance from the advocates for Invest in Kids that they will support increased public school funding. My budgets have ultimately included the relatively small Invest in Kids scholarship program. Okay, so this is the dude. I didn't know much about him because I'm not from Illinois, but here he is. There's the governor. He's changing his position. He's a flip-flopper. Let's go ahead and take a look a little bit more. Former Republican Governor Bruce Rauner, I think I said that right, or Rauner, signed the program into law in August of 2017. It included a tax credit scholarship program that would collect $100 million from scholarships, or for scholarships, and provide $75 million in tax credits to donors. For far too long, too many low-income students in our state have been trapped in underfunded, failing schools, Rauner said in a statement. The system needed to change. We put aside our differences and put our kids first. I want Illinois to be the #1 state in the nation for education. Nothing is more important than educating our children. This is the previous governor. Then candidate Pritzker at the time. Okay, this is what he used to think. I don't know what he really thinks, but this isn't what he's saying now, but here we go. Then candidate Pritzker publicly discounted the program, tweeting, as governor, I will not support school vouchers and will work to do away with this program because, yeah, you really care about the kids. Sorry, that's my 2 cents. Again, in April 2018, so we doubled down a year later, I'm opposed to the $75 million tax credit the school voucher system is proposing. We should, as soon as possible, do away with it, he says. What I oppose is taking money out of public schools, and that's what happened right here. Okay, so he's opposing the program, and all of a sudden he's saying he's for it. I'm confused. That's what he's doing now. I mean, election season is like a few weeks away here. Okay, American Federation for Children's senior fellow Corey DeAngelis wrote in Wall Street Journal that Pritzker isn't the first Democrat to make this switch. Last month, Pennsylvania gubernatorial nominee Josh Shapiro's campaign website called for adding choices for parents and educational opportunity for students and funding lifeline scholarships for those approved in other states and introduced it in Pennsylvania. The language was previously absent, according to the Internet Archive. All right, Shapiro told Pennsylvania Press last week that the support for school choice and fully funded public education is not an either or, it's both and. It's what I believe, he claimed. Blah 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 blue blue. Okay, so here's the deal. Listen, y'all know how politics are. Y'all know the snakes that exist at this level in government. They're going to say whatever they say, wherever the wind's blowing. Oh, the wind's blowing over here. Oh, okay, let's go. Oh, wait, school choice is now cool. Okay, I'm over here on school choice. They're going to do whatever they have to do come election season. Y'all know the game, but don't get caught up in it. It is what it is. There's a God on high that reigns above, and I'm here to tell you, by his grace and help, that school choice is now the thing that we need to sweep across the nation, guys. The wind of change is blowing, and this is big time news. Now, in a second, I'm going to play a quick video clip. This is from Governor Ducey in Arizona. He's leading the charge. He's the first one to go statewide nationwide with school choice. This is the first time this has ever happened, so it doesn't matter who you are. You have thousands of dollars. If you pay taxes, you have thousands of dollars at your disposal in Arizona, and you can send your kid to a private school, one-on-one tutor, online program. You can do what's best for your kid. Only you really know what's best for your kid. These politicians don't. The ones who love the kid the most are the parents. So they're the ones most qualified to allocate where the money goes to how to help their kid thrive, survive, and thrive. I mean, that's what it's all about. And this is massive if you think about these times that we're living in when you got all this indoctrination and these people putting stuff in our curriculum and our books and this attack on kids. Well, you have to have leverage to get your kids out of there and to get things to change, and this is the first domino, if that makes some sense. So I'm going to show a quick video clip to remind you guys of what has happened in Arizona and why this is a good thing, and how the seasons are changing here. I've never ever seen education as like the number 2 priority that people want when voting, and it's number 2, baby. Economy, education. Let's go ahead and roll it.
You remember that from Loudoun County, Virginia last June. That got everybody talking across the country and a lot more parents showing up at their school board meetings. Parents protesting erupted across the nation. And it's doing so again as education becomes a top issue in the midterm elections. In Arizona, state leaders have taken action. Governor Doug Ducey signed the most expansive school choice law in America, allowing parents to have state-funded dollars on any approved education expense, including private school. An organization called Save Our Schools Arizona tried to block that measure, but the effort failed last Friday, calling it a devastating blow. Governor Ducey praised the measure back in July of this year.
Every parent in Arizona is going to have access to their taxpayer dollars so they can spend it in the way that they're best educating their child.
A Fox News op-ed says, quote, "Parents are the first and primary educators of their children. The world will be a better place when parents are freely directing their child's education with no obstacles in their way." Corey DeAngelis is a senior fellow at the American Federation for Children, always closely watching this issue. What is working in Arizona, and how bad a defeat was that for the people who wanted to hurt Ducey's law?
I mean, look, this is the biggest school choice victory in U.S. history. Every single family, regardless of income, regardless of background, regardless of zip code, will be able to take their kids' education dollars to the education provider they're choosing. That could be a public school, charter school, private school, or a home-based education option. And this is a monumental victory for parents on the ground in Arizona. They stopped the union-backed group from blocking the program. Parents showed up. That Fox News op-ed was written by Christina Corso, who was the champion of the Decline to Sign campaign to show the voters the benefits of school choice and inform them of the facts. The Save Our Schools union-backed group said that they turned in 142,000 signatures. They only actually turned in about 86,000 according to the Secretary of State. They failed miserably, and it's because the parents and the kids have their own union now, their families, and they're fighting back. And they're flooding the Department of Education website in Arizona. In just less than 2 months, we've seen over 22,000 applications come in. They basically started to crash the Arizona Department of Education government website because so many families are flocking to this program in a time of uncertainty as well, because they were having to see if this ballot referendum was going to fail or not. It did fail. The families won. And in just less than a week after it was clear that families won, over 10,000 applications have gone into the Arizona Department of Education. This is a huge victory, and I hope other states follow as well.
So, Corey, as you were talking, my team put that up on our big wall, and so people could see that on the chalkboard, how many applications for vouchers were coming in just the last week alone after that victory against the group that tried to block this law. A recent poll by ABC also shows 77% of voters say education is among their top issues. So that's a big deal. That's a driver. And if you look at those other things, crime, I mean, our children are our most precious resource as a nation. We know that. But in
All right, so there it is. What do you think? Arizona already did it. I did a video a little bit ago. I think it was West Virginia, who's now able to shoot down the people. I mean, it's getting really hard, guys. Can I just be clear? It's getting really, really difficult to defend not giving choices to our kids for their future and for education. It's getting really hard to fight against doing what's right for our children and giving them options instead of feeding them the same crap over and over and over again and calling it, creme brulee. It's getting really, really difficult to do that. And even the Democrats that don't seem to be the quickest wheel turning people, they're even starting to figure this out. So I like what they said, to be completely honest, that it doesn't have to be either or. Why not both? And I think this is something that we could figure out, the way we spend money and send money all over the place that don't make any sense. I think maybe we could fund public education and also fund some options for kids. And so maybe this public school is doing right by the kid. Cool. Let's fund it. But maybe this kid needs something else, and we need to also make that available. It's getting really hard to really vote for the monopoly to continue to take advantage of our children. We thrive when we have options. When I can shop around, I thrive. I get better prices. I get a better job done. I put pressure on the people not doing a good job to get their act together. This is just common sense, and it's no different in the realm of education. So, as always, like, subscribe, share, click that notification bell for more content and analysis. If you like what you heard, I have a link to my PayPal, my Cash App. I appreciate the support. Anything you can do where I can prioritize the time to get this message out. But listen, it's not really about that. At the end of the day, we want to fund students, not systems. Fund students, not systems. I mean, you got to fund the system to some degree. I'm not gonna argue on that. But what I'm saying is, if I got to prioritize, if I got to pick one, I'm funding the students. That's what it's all about. And our country, frankly, is on the precipice of demise. We can't continue to do things the way we've been doing things. This is how we have the corruption at the highest levels in almost every sector in society, is because the people who are our oppressors have been intentionally funding systems at the expense of students. They say, hey, system, take this money, take this money, take this money. Teach them up to this much, but don't teach them enough to thrive and make good money and compete with our businesses. That's basically how it's been. So the only way to flip that around is to fund the parents, not the system. It takes the leverage away from the corporate tyrants, and then we actually have the power, and we can have representative government. And you better make some noise about this one, baby, because I'm telling you, the wave is here. We are right there. We got to get Arizona, the next Tennessee. We got to get Illinois. We got to get Pennsylvania. We got to tell the people what it is. And this is very much a part of the puzzle of taking back our country. And that's all I got to say on this one. I love you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
It's the Mega Man, and nah, that doesn't stand for hate. We're just saying it's time for education to be great. And if we keep on doing everything that we've been doing, it will no longer be our freedom that we're pursuing.